So obviously today I've got Matt and Vicky, and on this podcast what we're going to do is we're going to discuss around setting sales, the high ticket closing industry, high ticket setting, how that's actually changed in the last 2 years, because don't know if anyone else, but I get absolutely spammed in my DMs every single day with setters and salespeople and everything else, and they all say the same thing. So what I kind of want to discuss with you two today, you both come from like two parts of the industry. What is actually like happening within the industry right now, like in terms of like the amount of setters, sales people, everything else that's going on?
Do you want to start, Vicky?
Well, I think obviously since lockdown, everyone's gone online, right? Everyone wants to be an online coach. I think with social media, it seems it's being made to be to look easy to start a business. So there's a surge of people coming into the industry. Obviously, all of this like politics shit that's going on at the moment with the cost of living. So everyone's looking to earn extra income, meaning that there's a lot of people in the industry now in the online space. I mean, it is estimated to be 3.25 billion in the online education space by 2025, meaning that people are piggybacking off the back of that, trying to get a slice of the pie as a high ticket closer or an appointment setter. So obviously the more and more online businesses that there are means that the more and more setters and closers that they're going to be. And obviously because that part of the industry is growing means that there's going to be obviously a lot more setters and closers coming into the industry as well. So that's what we're seeing at the moment, which obviously for me is amazing. For you obviously is amazing as well, because we're never going to be out of work. And when I say we're never going to be out of work, if you're good at it, you're never going to be out of work. There's
But that's
always
the thing, isn't it? Like, how do you know when someone's actually good at it? Because everyone is saying you can make 5K as a setter, like you can do 10K a month, I can show you how. And it's like, how do you actually spot the people that are the charlatans to compare to the people that are actually the good ones?
I think you've just got to judge people on their results, because obviously like there's been a huge surge of like, like red pill self-improvement content. You've got like the Iman Gadzhis, Andrew Tate, stuff like that, and they all push the same message, break free from the matrix, stuff like that. And to be fair, I was very like subscribed to that message. Like,
me too. I fell for that too.
That is literally how I started like my sort of sales journey as well. And I feel like that content's been pushed quite a lot. It's just obviously off the back of that has allowed people to like be like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. That's why you see everyone join like the real world, which to be fair, I did it ages ago. People out want to be copywriters. They want to be
that's another one,
copywriters, email marketers,
video editors,
like helping people scale their business and stuff like that. And I think there's two sides to that, because that brings a lot of quality people, it brings a lot of business, but then on the back end it also brings a lot of shit and like a lot of people who can't really do what they say they're going to do.
Well, this is it. This is kind of why I wanted to obviously have a discussion as well. Like, both of you are on the different sides of it. Vicky does high ticket sales, you do a high ticket like setting. Yeah. And obviously me and Vicky actually set up our own setting like course like nearly 2 years ago now. It was actually like this time last year. We were in Miami. We had the idea. We were like, yeah, let's go all in. Like, I closed the business down to do it and everything else. And it wasn't all like sunshine and rainbows everyone thinks it's going to be. They make it seem as if like we had the tools, we were teaching people how to do it. But ultimately, at the end of the day as well, like, it comes down to the actual person who's learning, like the person who's involved. What we were seeing was a lot of people coming on being like, this is going to be a piss easy job. I'm going to sit in my DMs all day. And it's actually not like that.
No.
What, like, for people who are actually out there looking for a setter or a closer, like, what should they be looking for when it comes to that?
So I've seen a lot of insight of like people's message requests, and one like common theme I see is they have like someone slide into their DMs as an appointment setter, and you look at their profile and every single picture is them with a cigar in some pool, in some like random location, stuff like that, and because they want to show off the lifestyle. But I feel like if you're trying to become someone to work with someone, I feel like you should show your expertise.
Yeah.
Instead of like 100%. Showing like your lifestyle and stuff like that. That's what my page, like I used to post like I'm guilty of a lot of the stuff I'm talking about now, but I used to post like the cigar pictures, me with like my laptop in some airport randomly in the world.
But that's what we didn't do like cigar pictures, but like we tried.
Cigar pictures?
I know, like me and Vicky
in Dubai.
Yeah.
With me vape.
Yeah.
Or I feel like you need to show expertise instead of showing like lifestyle and things like that. That's like my page is just full of like just reels, because people look at that and they go, okay, this is quite impressive, over like me sliding into their DMs.
Your Instagram is your CV. Like, if you're sliding into, I mean, I'll tell you some of the worst messages I've received, and I'll tell you some of the best. Do you know, so a girl who's my appointment setter now, I hired her from a cold DM. Well, it was she followed me on Instagram, and I hired her from a cold DM, and it was one of the best messages. I posted it on Instagram. Do you remember seeing it? I can't remember.
Is that Maria?
Neve. Yeah, and she was an appointment setter, and she's the only person. Don't get me wrong, I do look at them because I think it's quite funny. You know, like,
I look at them all the time.
Yeah, look at them just because I'm like, who's taught you how to do that? Hi, any jobs?
No, I get the same message all the time. So I get this one where it's like, hi, Shannon, I know you have already 12 other people in your DMs. And it's the exact same one. I'm like, yeah, you're one of the 12. You keep sending me the same fucking message. It's like, I know you have 12 other setters in your DMs. Just copy and paste that message. Like, literally. You send this to everybody. Or like the ones that are like, you know, I can improve your reels. And I'm like, mate, you can see that I already get them edited. Like, how much more edits do you need to get them to be?
The copywriters are the worst.
Yeah.
Like, hi, Vicky, I've put together this email so you can put it. And then I read it and it's like, shit. And
or
I've
like
said
a
to
Loom
them,
video.
listen,
And I'm like, do you think I have time to sit and watch your Loom video of you, like, telling me how shit my content is? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, go away.
Yeah. But like, I tell you, there's 2 messages that I've ever responded to that have caught my attention. One of them, again, results. So as you just said, one of them messaged me and was like, hi, Vicky. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was like, I've worked with this person in my industry who I'm very, very big person in my industry who I'm actually aspiring to be like. She's on the vision board. I've worked with this person. We've managed to do this, this and this. Would love to have a chat with you. Appreciate you're in Dubai. These are the times we can do in Dubai time tomorrow. Like, made it very easy for me. Looked on his Instagram, was thinking like, is he lying? Is this girl, has he really helped this girl? The girl follows him. So legit. Now I get that some setters have never had experience and they're looking for their first role. So I get that it's tougher for them to be able to stand out. But again, like what Matt's just said there, how to stand out. What is your profile saying about you? What results? Or, you know, what, like for me, I think confidence in a setter is really important. So if they're out there, putting themselves out there on Instagram, sharing tips, even if the tips aren't very good, I think that says something about a person, you know? So yeah, as you say, if you're going to message me and you've got 40 followers, no pictures, and you've got nothing in your bio that says anything like, and saying that you're appointment setter, that message is getting ignored.
I think you've got to leverage where you are as well. So like, let's say for instance, because the setter that I actually employed, I was trying to help him find like a job because I basically trained him and then just said, look, get some experience and then I'll work with you. So what I told him to do is actually like leverage the position he's in. So like, let's say for instance, you're new, you don't work with anyone. I said to him, be really honest with that person. Just be like, look, I'm fully trained. I haven't really got much experience. I completely understand if you don't want to do that. And I think being upfront about it first
100%,
off.
yeah.
I think honesty is like such a big thing.
Yeah, like if you had that
In this
request,
industry.
you might not be inclined to work with him, but you'd appreciate the honesty. You probably would maybe give him a text back.
I give him a text. Yeah, those ones. I'll
respectfully.
I haven't received one single DM that I've ever replied to based on the fact that every single one of them have been either a copy and paste message is exactly the same as everyone else, or nothing has ever caught my eye, not once.
Do you know the ones who I respond to are the ones who are like, I love what you're doing in the industry. Hopefully I can be like, I want to be at your level one day. Have you got any tips? I'm looking for my first role. Have you got any tips? Rather than asking me outright for a role, I'll be more inclined to respond to something like that.
Playing to someone's ego.
Yeah.
Because if they send you DMs, oh, Vicky, I know you're smashing in the sales space.
Exactly what
you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to get someone to reply because people love talking about themselves and they love sort of basking in their own sort of thing.
And they're like, I want your expertise in particular.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well,
okay.
I mean, Vicky loves having her ego stroked. We all know that. Like, that's obviously that's exactly what she does. But obviously, one of the things that the reason why I got both of you here is like, you both are so deep in the space now. Like, what do you feel like people are doing wrong when it comes to like, obviously either training for high ticket sales, training for high ticket consulting, or like what direction they're going in? Like, I see a lot all the time. And I don't know about you, but I feel like people make it look like as if it's really easy to hit 10K months or hit 5K months. We all know it's not easy. But what do you think people are actually like doing wrong? Like, where can you see, like, give me a projection as well, what you feel like this
Is this
industry's going to
for
be.
everyday people who are in sales, or is this for sort of
Business owners.
Business owners, but also as well, like, think about the people that are currently either wanting to be a setter or a closer, or that's maybe like throwing a couple of jibs at the people who are trying and like train these people. Like, what are they doing wrong?
I'll go first if you don't mind, Matt, because I've got something fresh in my mind.
There we
Two
go.
lads messaged me the other day, and this, as I said, this was about 2 days ago. Literally, they see, you know, I posted a story the day that I'd done a $9,100 day. So obviously $910 in commission. And they were like, oh my God, you really earn $910 in commission. I want to get involved. And I literally messaged, like, I know the lads, like, personally, and I literally messaged them back and was like, nah. Yeah. No, I said, nah, you're not serious enough. I've, like, both really into the fitness, knew them from the fitness industry. And one of them was like, I am serious. I said, no, you party too much. See all over your Instagram, you party too much. You have not got what it takes to be a closer. Obviously, yeah, it's easy for people to sit there and be like, wow, she's just made $910 in one day. But like,
the previous day you could have made nothing.
Could have made nothing. In fact, I posted, didn't I, the other day, since I've been home, I made no sales, but then that one day I made $910. But they see that and they think, wow, all she does is sit there on calls and sits there and thinks 100%. How easy it is. But I seen a meme the other day and it was like that iceberg picture. It's like what people say, what people don't say. The amount of effort that goes into my health, that goes into obviously mindset coaching with Katie, that goes into optimizing my environment, that goes all of these things. Yeah, you know, staying away from negative people. I've caught a lot of people out my life. All of these things that go into me being able to perform. And what they do see is, you know, practicing my sales skills. These are all the things that are like, you can do all these things, but all of the things at the bottom, if you're not doing, you are never going to be successful.
Yeah. I feel like people chase the top of the iceberg where they see like the lifestyle. Like, say for instance, yourself, you live in Dubai. You go to nice gyms, you go nice places, you have nice food. People chase that instead of the like acquisition of actual skills. Because it's a two-edged sword, because sales obviously is fantastic for making money, stuff like that. But it's also shit at the same time, because you probably had days where you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And we all get them.
Most days, actually.
We all get those days, and people don't want to stay in it for that. They just want to stay in it to have the 10K months, to go to Thailand, to go to Dubai, Miami, stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't get there without doing the actual work. And this is like something I actually talked about yesterday in my content, was that, and it was something me and Maria laughed at, is like, I'm so sick to death of people posting like this motivational crap.
Yeah.
Like, you have literally just Googled motivational quotes and then set that on a video to make yourself look like as if like that is, like, that's all you need to do. And it was something like, you can achieve anything if like you just put your mind to it. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Like, obviously, like, that is just textbook material. Like, people don't need, like, and this is the thing as well, what really bugs me, and I'm really sorry about this, but the generation that is growing up now, like, they think, yes, people can do anything they put their mind to, but they all think it's easy, and they think that like there's going to be no hardships enough. They're going to walk into a job, or they're going to walk online. It's going to be like going to earn money and like do all this, and I'm like, but you have to actually do the work, and like, it's not that easy.
Just because even like the people that come into our sales program, however many we've taken on, do you know how many people earn 10K a month as a closer? Less than 1%.
Yeah, not many people.
Less than 1%.
But even like setters as well. Like, remember, like when we first started working with setters, we were like trying to be realistic. Like, this isn't going to be a 5K month job.
I've just had the girl walk out of one of the positions. It's too hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
It's the expectation as well, because like you see, like we've obviously spoke about the online content, because people want to sell you these courses, they want to sell you the material.
They want to.
So they're going to display.
That's what we did. We sold that, but we were trying to sell it as more of like a, you know, work from your phone, like you know, extra money and stuff. But
the thing is as well is like when you come into sales and setting, like I'm going to speak specifically for setting. So my setter underneath me yesterday, he had a paid in full with a client, and he earned a full week's wage from his day job that he's still in like 2 hours, something like that. Like, that is a huge win. Like, I don't feel like people should look at these like 10, 20, 30K months straight away. I feel like you should acquire smaller gains and then build up to get to a point with 10, 20, 30K, instead of just going, oh, I'm just going to get into sales just to hit 10K. Because then when your expectation isn't met, you feel a bit shit about yourself. And that's probably what leads to people dropping off.
Quitting,
their expectation
Also,
is so high.
let's just also point this out as well. A 10K month in the UK, if you hit 10K month, you're already paying VAT, you've got more corporation tax. If you had a 7.5, you're still in the bracket to not hit VAT. You don't have to pay as much corporation tax. And I don't think people realise that. Like, what I don't understand where this whole 10K month came from, because that's all I ever see on Instagram.
It just looks pretty.
Yeah, hard to hit 10K
Move
month.
to
Like,
Dubai.
it's so
Yeah,
easy. And I'm
Dubai.
like, 10K a month is not easy. Like, it is not easy to hit. And I think like what's happened, especially in the industry that we all work in.
10%, 10K a month for a female is top 1%. And I'm not sure what it is for a male. What is it for a male? Do you
Not
know?
sure.
Not
I
sure.
think maybe 10, 12K is like top 1% or 15K is top 1%. But
Yeah.
for a female in the UK, if you're hitting 10K a month, you're in the top 1% of earners.
Pretty sick when you think about it, isn't it? Like the average wage in the UK is
We're a
what?
minority.
Yeah.
Minority.
But that's what I mean. Like, people just think, like, don't expect to be in the top 1% of people if
Without
you're
the
not going to
1%
do
work.
without the 1%
Yeah.
work.
If
Yeah.
you're not gonna, I also think as well, like, and we all know this because like we've all been doing mindset coaching and everything else. We know people who are mindset coaches. If you don't have a solid mindset going into this either, into this type of industry, especially setting in sales,
Yeah.
you are never going to make it.
Oh, sales is the
worst for-
toughest for me. Is the hardest job in the world.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
rejection like every
Yeah.
single day practically.
Yeah.
Whether that's on a macro level with a call or whether it's in like the DMs or something like that, you've got to face rejection.
Yeah.
If you haven't got tough skin, because it's a people's game, you're not really going to go very far at all.
Yeah. One thing I actually did want to ask you both of you as well, because you're obviously you've got female and male. I know Vicky gets a lot of hate on Instagram, like so much. And obviously it's because she lives in Dubai as well. I mean, we get like the lure of that. But like, Matt, what kind of like stuff do you get? Do you ever get like, it's not so weird.
No.
Like, she gets so much shit on Instagram for her lifestyle and things that she does in sales and stuff as well. But like, you probably get more respect.
Well, to be fair, I live in Buryport, not Dubai. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a difference there. I live in a small town. So obviously people see Dubai and they think like, oh, she's either living there because of someone else or, you know, they don't really see how independent you are, obviously.
Yawn.
Yeah. But to be honest, I don't really get any hate or anything like that. I think that if you're getting hate, you're obviously doing something correct. And you're obviously agitating a lot of people. But no, I haven't really had any hate, to be honest with you. With where I live, it's very like small town syndrome. So like, say for instance, like people will try and like claw you back. I'm sure you spoke about this earlier.
Yeah.
But people will try and claw you back. But like Vicky said before we started the podcast, I've cut a lot of people out of my life. Like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some of them quite close, some of them not so much. I've got people who don't like me, who think I'm a bit of a prick and stuff like that, which I'm perfectly fine with because they all work jobs.
People definitely think that about me and Vicky.
Yeah.
Probably. And
Oh, yeah.
it's a good place to be in because you know you're doing something right where you're elevating yourself to a level where other people are going to try and bring you down. Because that's what
100%.
hate is. It's just trying to claw people down, in my
It's like
opinion.
projection. It's been like me and Leah talked about, was like people project on you what they're insecure about and
Yeah.
what they don't like about themselves.
Yeah, that's massive. Obviously, I've learned a lot about that, obviously, because Kay's my girlfriend. And she's taught me a lot of like projection and stuff like that. So it's the same with like business mentors and stuff like that. Like I'm recognizing like what their limiting belief is, what they think I'm capable of, because they're either putting an expectation or a ceiling on what they think I can achieve. And it's like, I know I can achieve whatever I want. If I genuinely put my mind to it, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all can.
Wish Katie was my girlfriend. Can imagine how cool them conversations are.
I don't know.
You've got no choice really, have you, than to be successful.
That's it, isn't it? So obviously, like another thing I wanted to discuss as well, like with both of you starting your own businesses, obviously Matt, you're still in your 20s, obviously Vicky, you're 30 now. But like, what kind of advice would you give someone who wanted to start out their own business doing what you guys do?
Don't. Because you have to compete with me for a start, so that wouldn't be very fun. To be honest, I'd probably say do it because what's the worst thing that can happen, really?
Yeah.
I mean, say you get rejected, you go broke. I've been broke before multiple times. It's not the end of the world. You're still here. But I'd probably say be prepared to learn a lot. Be prepared to fail a lot. Don't be going into it with the mindset of, I'm going to get to 10K in 3 months. I'm going to do this in 90 days, this thing like that, because you won't. And then when you don't get that, your expectation of yourself will be crushed.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say that. I'd probably say just do it. Take the first step. Be vulnerable to yourself. Just do it. Why not?
My advice to someone in the 20s who wants to be a high ticket closer. Yeah, for sure. I mean, be prepared to work. And do you know what? As Matt just said, what is the worst that can happen? Like for me, I had nothing to lose. Obviously, I came into this off the back of starting my own online coaching business. But if I didn't, I'd be sitting in my 9-5 in the cold, freezing in the UK, like earning 30 grand a year. So it's just a path, isn't it? With like, if you're happy with that, then do you know what? I'm actually jealous of people who are happy with that. Sometimes I wish I was, like happy with just like not pushing for more.
Yeah, and do you know what? I toy with that idea like every few weeks. I'm like, could I have just been happy like being in my last job, which is like the account manager, like obviously like doing marketing, or like obviously I was still doing PT on top of that, and I hated personal training, like absolutely hated it. Fitness was just not for me. Honestly, learned that quite quickly. But I like my like biggest thing was like when I started my own business, like there were so many people who told me not to. Like, it was that like, well, what if you don't work out? What if it feels like, what are you going to do? Yeah, exactly. And it was always like, you sure you don't want to keep your 9-to-5 job? Like, it's a bit more secure and stuff. And it's like, how more secure could you be than betting on yourself?
Yeah. I think another thing as well is don't chase the income. I think you should chase the skills that are going to allow the income to come.
Yeah.
Because that's something I've been guilty of as well. Like, because sales is all about relationships, all about people, skills, whatever. If you're just chasing the income, then you're just going to be chasing it forever and it's not going to feel very nice. But if you actually chase the skills to get there, it'll come a lot easier, I find personally.
Yeah. If you focus on getting better, becoming an expert, and that is something that I have, like I've thought about what do I want to be known for? High ticket sales. I want to be known as an expert in high ticket sales. I want to be known as the person who can close big money deals. And every day, that's what I'm working on. That's, the skill that I've been working on for the past couple of years now. And rather than, and also I'd probably say like if it's not sales and maybe you do try sales and it's not for you or whatever, then just try other things.
Yeah.
Like there's so many skill sets out there that you can do online. You can't that can give you that freedom. Yeah, that's the way the world's going now. So
do you mind if I ask you a question, Vicky?
Yeah.
How do you go about spotting what areas you feel like you need to improve in sales, whether that's like objection handling, whatnot?
Review my calls.
What do you sort of look for?
What do I look for? So I can just tell, like in myself, if it's energy, or like what I'll do is I'll watch the ones that are close and I'm like, oh, that was good. Yeah, I'm going to use that again. I'm going to see that again. People just think the sales call is an hour, but there's so many little nuances that goes into sales, which is why I love it, because you can have, I would say that the number one thing that you need above anything else is conviction.
Self-respect.
Yeah, conviction, self-respect, conviction. Like if you're bought, and this is what went wrong in an offer, my first ever offer, hence why I left, I stopped believing in the program. I stopped believing that it could help people. I stopped believing in the CEO. And that on a sales call, subconsciously, I think I made like 3 sales in a month. I had my worst.
It just kept
month.
going from like here to like here, and we both know what you're talking about. But like that can when you lose self-respect for someone, that's kind of when it goes. Like, and I felt the exact same thing. I was like the energy that we had going into them roles.
You can't have a miserable. I said this on my story yesterday. There's no such thing as a miserable salesperson. If you are not happy in your own life, or your environment's wrong, the likeliness you're going to sell somebody is very, very little.
Yeah.
There's so many factors, like outside factors that go into it, but then also your sales skill as well.
You sell at a different place then, don't you? It's not out of like wanting to help someone, it's out of like desperation or something else.
Yeah. What would, obviously, for a question for both of you is, what's your biggest like ick or thing that you hate about this industry that's happening right now?
In terms of setting. The whole setting. Does it apply to coaches as well?
Yeah.
Probably saying they don't like sales. That probably gets on my nerves. Or like people who think, oh yeah, I don't need to sell and stuff like that. It's like, you're running a business, you need to sell. Starbucks need to sell coffees. Coaches need to sell packages. That's probably it. Or people who don't enjoy doing setting, because it means that they don't know how to do it.
Setting's the money-making task, so you better get good at setting. It's like coaches who say, I don't like doing content. Tough. Go and work for a gym then.
Yeah.
Or people who don't respect themselves enough to respect themselves in the DMs, if that makes sense. Because like a lot of people will just take disrespect because they feel like, the customer's always right sort of belief. A lot of people get disrespected and be fine with it.
Yeah. I think that's something you're really good at though, is like pushing back.
thanks.
It's like, no, but it's like in the DMs, like pushing back on people who kind of have that like mindset.
Yeah.
It's like the victim mindset, isn't it? Like, I can't do this, or like, you're not the person to help me, but I think you're quite good at that. Like, as in like handling that. Like, that's like a massive, massive one of your skill sets.
Yeah, because if you push people back, like you can get them to a place of like self-actualization where they realize like, oh shit, I need to actually change.
Yeah.
Because like I work with a lot of female coaches, like weight loss stuff. Let's say, for instance, someone's like, oh, I've been trying to lose weight for 6 months. And then they're like, okay, have you done it? No. Well, don't you feel like you should do something else or change something instead of being fat for 6 months? But I think you've got to challenge people and like having I think when I started in sales, I don't know if you're the same. Like I did struggle to push back against people because I was like, oh, am I supposed to do that? But as time has gone on, I feel like the most...
Like the difficult conversations you're in. Yeah. Oh, I love them.
Yeah. It's like I've had someone cry on a call. This probably happens to you all the time. I've had someone cry on a call and I was like, this is a bit awkward.
Yeah. Sometimes I push people. It's like a game, isn't it? Like I will push people to the point where they either sign up or put the phone down.
Hang up.
Yeah, like that period of uncomfortable and you're handling objections and you're pushing back. I did it the other day with a lad. I'll have to...
What's the worst objection like you could ever get thrown?
The worst.
Like the one where you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
The one that I hate handling the most. Well, I sell to men.
Yeah.
So for me, the worst objection that like pisses me off the most is probably I need to speak to my wife. Because...
Have you seen Shelby Sapp where she says about if you're a woman closer with a man, you can always use their ego against them?
Yeah.
That was cool. I found that
I think that's
cool.
why I do so well. I love closing to men. Like I love speaking to men.
It's like a power. It's like you're taking back that power though, isn't it? Like it's kind of like, you know who has the power on that call.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever has the product always has the power because it's like you're actually changing someone's life.
Yeah.
It's like when you're setting a call, it's like if someone doesn't want what you have, they're going to stay in the problem. You're not in their problem. You might miss out on like a couple of £100 or whatever, but they have the problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to this kid the other day. He was like, obviously needed the program, hated the job, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Because he was like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is a lot of money. I said, yeah, I appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, can I just be honest with you since we're being honest with you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, right. You buying this program makes no difference to me, you know, a bit of commission makes no difference to Jordan. You know, however much, $4,000 or whatever. Jordan doesn't need your money. I don't need your money. The only person it's going to make a difference to is you. The only person whose life it's going to change is yours. So, as I say, you've got two options here. You either carry on being stuck in your job, you just told me you hate your job, you want to leave, you want to make a difference, you want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Or you can not move forward today, which is absolutely fine. I say it makes no difference to anyone but yourself. Anyway, you bought the program. I went, look, if you wake up tomorrow and at the bottom of your gut you feel like this is the wrong decision, then I'll send you your money back. And he was like, no, you're right. Do you know what? No, you're right. He's not messaged me for his money back, and that was a few days ago. So, yeah,
nice.
But yeah, that was one. Like sometimes they need pushing.
Yeah.
You know, and they're telling me they want to, as you say, they want to earn 10. If you want to earn 10k a month, they want to do this, they want to do that, but they
actions.
won't. They're not even willing to take that first step. I said that to someone the other day. I said, I don't think entrepreneurship's for you. He was like, yeah, it's just uncomfortable, isn't it? I said, that's exactly what being an entrepreneur is. Do you think this is the only time you're going to feel uncomfortable as an entrepreneur? Because you can't even invest 2k. You're not willing to invest 2k with a guaranteed roadmap to success. Then I'll be honest, I don't think entrepreneurship's for you.
Yeah, how much do you believe in yourself?
That's really good though. I really like that. It's really good.
But yeah, I love them difficult conversations. The point of that story was that's my zone.
That's your bread and butter. That
thrive.
Yeah, that's what always been your bread and butter. Those having this sort of conversation. But right, guys, honestly,
weight projections. We forgot to do projections.
Oh yeah, projections. That was actually what I was going to say. Was projections for your specific industries. Like, where do you think it's going to be in the next 5 years?
A lot bigger, I'd say. If we're looking at the coaching sort of space, I'd probably say a lot bigger.
Do you feel like it's going to be more saturated than what it is now?
I think saturation's a limit you place on yourself. I think that if you're the best at something, saturation doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
I don't believe in saturation at all. Like there's other setting companies out there, cool.
Yeah.
There's other sales out there, cool, but it doesn't really apply to me because I don't put myself in that bracket of being with them.
You can tell he's hanging around with Katie.
Not trying to hang around casually.
Love it.
But no, I feel like if you place yourself in a saturated market, then you're limiting yourself. But if you say I am the best, people are going to come to me, then you just got to leave it at that. I feel like.
I love that.
My projections of the industry are very similar. I think this is the new trend. You know, the way like drop shipping was 2016,
Crypto.
SMMA was 2018, like with Tyler Fair. I think high ticket clothing is this new trend, which is obviously amazing because it's going to see a lot more people getting into it. It's still a very male dominated industry, I believe. I don't know whether it's certain. I do get a lot of it's mostly men who reach out to me, to be fair. Which for me, like my goal over the next few years is to get as many girls, females into the space as I possibly can, because I think, as you just mentioned there, big name in the industry, she focused on getting women into it. Like, I think there's going to be a massive movement to get females into it, because I think there's a lot of advantages that we have. As I say, like when we're selling to females, a lot of females would rather talk to a female, and then men, we can use that to our advantage as well.
I'd feel safer investing with a female than a male, I think.
Yeah, it's trust, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also projections for the industry. What I've seen happen over the last few months, very, very different to when I started in the industry, whereas you just, sent a DM, posted a transformation, do you want to jump on a call? Yes, okay, cool, close the deal. It doesn't work like that anymore. Trust is such a huge thing now. People just don't trust anyone online anymore because they've been scammed by a mentor, or if they've been scammed by this, or they've been scammed by that, or it's not what it seems. So I think the way sales is going is, if you're a coach, testimonials and proof that you can actually deliver what you say you deliver. And I think guarantees as well.
Yeah.
Something that we've had to implement. Like, if you haven't got a guarantee in your program, then I think that's what usually does drag a lot of people over the line. So yeah, guarantees, testimonials, as many testimonials and 5-star reviews as you possibly can. Because I am using that in my sales calls now to back what I'm saying up.
Yeah.
And because obviously, the program I'm selling is really, really good, and I really believe it, and I see the evidence that we change people's lives. That's important as well. So if you're a closer and you're going into the space, you want to subconsciously see how good the program is doing. Now, if that's not going to happen if it's a new offer, or it's not going to happen if it's like a shady offer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for an offer as a closer, that's what I'd be looking for. Like, is this person actually doing what he's saying he's doing? Because there is a lot of cowboys out there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm big on value as well, is because, just like you said, there's a lot of cowboys out there. And if you give people like a lead magnet, for instance, for anything, if you give people a bit of value, they take that away, they use it, they find it valuable, they're going to trust you a lot more than someone who's just trying to like skate around a conversation to get someone on a call straight away.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, I think if for someone to get better at sales, I think they need to stop trying to sell. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because like, I've been guilty of this myself. I've just wanted to sell to people, but it's not about that. It's obviously about, like, in my opinion, building relationships and actually like helping people, as opposed to trying to just get them over the line. I think a lot of coaches see that as well. Like, they see their leads as numbers as opposed to actual people.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of this before massively, where they just see their pipeline as like, I've got 800 leads. No, you've got 800 people who have a problem who you can help solve.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the perspective that I've adopted, and it's helped me quite a lot, actually.
Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. Really enjoyed
Thank
that.
you.